Before we get started, we wanted to open with some friendly advice regarding abandoned churches, as we are entering the High Holy season. If you go alone, don't bring a flashlight. You'll probably see things you don't want to. Don't bring groups bigger than 12. The less people to keep track of, the less people to lose. Bring water and some snacks, but no wine. If you have to sleep there, sleep in the sanctuary, but not on a pew. If you try to read the hymnal, the words won't be in English anymore. The Bibles will be blank until you confess. Don't go into the confession booth. The man talking to you is not the priest, and you don't want to know what he really is. The cross on the wall changes locations. Don't look at it for too long. If you see someone praying at the altar, don't approach them. If they approach you, don't talk to them. Leave immediately. If you hear the organ playing while you're in the basement, you know your time is running out. If it plays while you're in the sanctuary, your time is up. Take whatever you want, but if you find that one of your possessions is missing, don't look for it. Let them have it. It's not worth your life. If you find a rosary, don't put it on. It won't help. The water isn't holy anymore. Throwing it on the demons in the shadows won't work. Drink the wine if you wish to never leave. Don't get separated from your friends. If you spend the night, leave at sunrise. Otherwise, you'll enter another plane of reality with no way back. If you don't spend the night, leave through the doors you came in. You might look behind you after leaving and see that the church isn't there anymore. It means that they took what they wanted. Never enter the same abandoned church twice. Especially if you forgot something inside. That's a lure. On your second tour through, they will know enough about you to keep you there.
Welcome to Nightmare Town.
Hello neighbors and welcome back to Nightmare Town. We are Betty Boom.
And I'm Mandemonium.
And I am, Lady Monium.
But I'm going to call her Minnie.
Short for miniature.
Miniature
I
Monium.
am Mini Manda.
Amanda. So yeah, we don't have a whole lot to talk about. Let's see. We do have stickers now.
Woohoo.
Like, they're ordered.
They'll be here next week, we're thinking.
So we do have stickers now, and if you guys want your very own stickers, you can go ahead and go and like, rate, review the podcast on any of the platforms that we are on, preferably iTunes, because the more that you guys do that, the more it shows up whenever people search for it, and it just kind of works out really well that way. But go do that, and then email us your home address. That sounds weird. Private message us an address that you have access to where we can get you those stickers for free.
Yay! I love free
For
things.
free!
For free.
Free things are always great.
So, yeah, we have stickers on the way. You guys voted for them, so thank you very much for going and voting. That was super duper fucking awesome.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Minnie's here. How do you feel about cursing?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I watched South Park when I was like 4, so,
Yep. So Minnie listens to the podcast
Mm-hmm.
with Mamamonium
Yep, every morning on the drive to school.
every morning.
Well, not every single morning,
So we only have like 25 episodes.
but like,
It doesn't take that long to get to school.
yeah. Well, we listened to a portion of it while on the way to school.
Aw.
And there's a new one.
Yay! Also, if you guys noticed the image on the last episode,
It is I.
she was our Alice,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't. Amanda took that photo.
You were about, what, 3? Maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4 in that picture.
Yeah, I was probably about that age, and I think it was in our yard or our grandma's yard somewhere.
Mm-hmm. It was back when I was in my,
Emu.
let's try to take pictures and make them as creepy, innocent looking things as creepy as possible.
I thought I was
Emo
being a nice,
pictures.
pretty princess in that picture,
Well, you were in
Yeah.
in the color picture.
And then you added black and white, and then scary music.
It's
And now-
spooky vignettes.
I'm spooky.
And then she chose to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
So,
It all worked out.
development.
Yes.
but yeah, so I think that's the only bit of news.
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to give a shout out to a fellow podcaster, Death in Hollywood. So they are a new podcast. They're over on Podbean and a couple of other different places. They're already on Spotify. It is... So it's a mix between true crime and pop culture. So he goes and he looks at celebrity deaths and he talks about them. The one that... Like, I've listened to all of them. And when I say all of them, I mean he has like 5 episodes out now. So if you want to get in on a podcast that is fresh out of the boat, this is the one to do it because it is fantastic. His voice is perfect for the genre that he has chosen, and I really liked it. He covered the girl that played Ducky in Land Before Time. Yeah,
Aw.
and it made me the sad. So, hi Justin. But yeah, so that's enough of that, I guess. Oh, hi Bella. Bella woke up from her nap again.
It's like, yay, story time.
All right, so I think this week it's me.
Yes.
So
I
I-
believe so.
Yeah, I'm gonna get started, and then Minnie has a story for us.
A few little short stories.
Very nice. So this week we are doing. Anybody remember?
Angels and
Demons.
Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, I decided that I was gonna go angels. And even though I say I'm doing angels, I'm not actually doing angels in the traditional sense. I'm gonna be reading some creepypastas. And one of them is from creepypasta.org, and the other one is from creepypasta.com.
I'm sitting here making faces. Nobody can see my facial expressions,
I
but
can
I'm
see them.
intrigued.
I can see them.
I'm the same way. I
That
talk
is
with
a
my
.org.
face.
She talks with her hands a lot.
I do. I tend to hit the desk when talking with
Yeah.
my hands at that.
And then
I
there's
talk with my eyebrows a lot.
eyebrows, just
Yep.
wiggles,
Wiggle, wiggle.
wiggle. My first one is called Fallen Angel. It's from creepypasta.org. It was written August 31st, 2016 by Broken Melodies in My Head. I don't like it here. The room is cold and claustrophobic. The walls seem to close in on me if I look at them for too long, which is kind of hard, saying that all that consists in my room is a bed, a desk with a chair, and those damn fucking 4 white walls. Hardly anyone ever comes in here. Anyone except the nurses, wearing those infuriatingly white uniforms. They really like that color, don't they? It drives me mental, hurts my eyes. They stare at me as though I've grown an extra head and don't even attempt to start a conversation. All they tell me is that I'll be in here for a while, a month, a year perhaps. It depends on my progress, as they put it. I don't understand what the fuck they're on about, but they assure me I'm doing fine. Whatever. After a few weeks of being here and eavesdropping in conversations I shouldn't be listening to, I've learned 3 things. I'm on Ward 3, Section A. I must be monitored every 2 hours by at least 2 qualified members of staff, and I require electroshock therapy as part of my psychological treatment. Bullshit. I know I'm not insane. I do. I know it. They tell me I'm going to get better with time and care, but I don't need to be looked after, do I? I'm fine. Perfectly fine. They shouldn't be wasting their time on someone who's sane. It's pointless. I don't want to stay here anymore. I want to go home. I don't know where I am or what I've done to deserve this. God fucking damn it. There is nothing wrong with me, you sick bastards. I didn't kill my fucking sister. I'm not insane. The nurses are running in now with the orderlies. Oh, fuck the needles. Not again. My body writhes and struggles out of instinct, and I lash out at one of the orderlies and scratch him down his face. But I mean, come on, who would blame me? It's not fair. I don't need this. I'm fine. I feel myself slipping into unconsciousness as the world around me fades into shadows. I enjoy this part of passing out. It's comforting. Endless oblivion, complete weightlessness. I feel numb, but hey, at least I don't have to look at those walls anymore. The dark envelops me as though it's my shield away from the world. Sleep is the one time I can relax, at least until I start dreaming. I never used to have night terrors like so many others. However, now they seem to make up for lost time. Every night, after drifting off listening to the cries and screams of the patients, those faces will constantly appear and torture my poor, fatigued mind. They're never clear, so I can't identify the figures in my nightmares, but my God, I feel like I've seen them somewhere before. I just can't put my finger on it. Their terrifying vestiges will morph into that of demons. Mouths ripped open wide in a silent scream, eyes bulging, blood dripping from their sockets. I can never move in my dreams. It's like sleep paralysis, but I'm not awake. Far from it. I'm left completely defenseless as they crawl all over me, bearing their inhuman features and dragging their nails down my chest, tearing through the skin and muscle to reveal my rib cage. It's always the same dream as well. I'm laid on a bed, aimlessly in my room. It's nighttime and I can't see anything except the hazy outline of a door. I feel like I'm going to fall into sleep when the door opens. I hear a muffled voice, feminine, telling me to come with them. My body obeys and I follow the strange woman out of the room. The setting changes to that of a forest. There's no light, excluding the moon hanging over the sky above us. This is when I become paralyzed. All is silent until there is a sudden snap behind me. Obviously, I can't turn around, so my other senses go into overdrive. I hear the wind whistle around me. Even my own heartbeat is fast rate, but other than that, it's silent once again. My eyes, now accustomed to the dark, make out the shape in the blackness. Upon further inspection, it's a girl. Standing around 5'7" with blonde shoulder-length hair, she just stood there staring at me. It's fucking unnerving. After a while, she'll move towards me, and this is when her face becomes blurry and starts to transform. She'll grab my upper arms and force me down to the woodland floor, roots and rocks jabbing into my spine. I cry out, but still can't move. Moving down to my level, she'll crawl up my body to straddle my abdomen and move her hand to my cheek. Hyperventilating now, my breaths start occurring more rapidly and much more shakily. She says something I can't make out and then lets out a little giggle. Grabbing my throat, she drags her sharp nails down from my neck to my lower stomach. Even though it's just a dream, it's agony. This appears to amuse my attacker, and she starts to laugh uncontrollably. I scream and try to move, but can't. Fucking can't. All I see is red emerging from my body and a hint of white skeletal bone. At this point, the woman above me is practically howling with laughter as she rests her head on my shoulder. When she eventually moves back into her upright position, she'll smirk and reach down into my chest cavity and pull out my still beating heart. This is the time I'd usually wake up, sweat leaking out of every pore, screaming my lungs out. But now, as I spiral deeper and deeper into unconsciousness, my dream continues. I cry out in absolute terror as the woman above me sighs deeply and says in a calm yet angered voice, "You know, I never betrayed you. You brought this on yourself, hon." Now, they can all turn their attention to me, congratulate me, get down on their fucking knees and worship me. She shrugs and runs the bloody fingers down the side of my face and smiles. My broken body slowly drains what remaining life I have left. My vision darkens. This isn't jealousy, my angel. This is justice. This is for your own good. I love you, Ginny. Ginny. I know that name. Jennifer West. My sister. My dead fucking sister. How could anyone do this? Ginny was a goddess. Everyone loved her. They would always admire her and do whatever she saw fit. Everything about her was amazing. Her laugh, her smile, her oh so angelic face. No one would hurt her. No one. I'm awake now, but I'm not screaming like I always do. In fact, I'm laughing. I get up and walk towards the small desk I have in my room. Hunching over it, my laughter only intensifies. I can't control myself. My whole body is shaking and convulsing as I drag my nails down the wooden desk. I stop laughing for a moment to acknowledge what I've done. I look down at the scratched wood. Long incisions mark the table. Wow. I never knew my nails were tough enough to do that. Only then do I reflect on my words and finally understand. Looking down at my nails, I see blood coating the underside of hard surface. Not exactly fresh blood, but blood all the same. Weird, I haven't cut myself, have I? No. Funny. It kind of reminds me of my dream, but I knew I couldn't do this. I love my sister with all of my heart. She's perfect. I never really minded being number 2 and always living in her shadow because, well, I adore my sister. She deserved the attention much more than I did. Much like anyone else, I envied her, but that's the same with all younger siblings, isn't it? Rivalry. Always wanting to be the better, right? Right? I didn't kill her. I didn't kill my sister. I couldn't. She was an angel. But some angels have to fall, don't they? And
That was a good one. I actually have a story kind of like pertaining to that story because it says something about figures that said kind of like, come here. So when I was like probably 3 or 4, I would sometimes sleep in my parents' room and they would leave their door open. And when they did, sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night and look out the door into the hallway. And I would see a shadowy figure. It was like white and like see-through. And it kind of moved in slow motion where you could like see where the arm trails. And the weirdest part was they looked like either like Mandemonium or my mom, Mamamonium. And they would always do a come here motion, and they would like be looking right at me. And I think once it was me, it was like a shadow of myself, and they would always do a come here motion. And when I saw them, I would go, Mom, like, Mom, I see Manda, I see a shadow of Mandemonium. She'd be like, no, what? Because it was like 4 a.m. She'd be like, whatever, it's just your mind playing tricks, go back to sleep. I'm like, okay. But what I always wondered was what would happen if I went with them, because I never got out of bed to go see what they were saying come here for. So I wonder what would have happened if I would have went.
You'd be dead.
Mandemonium's glad you didn't.
Yeah, probably a good thing.
Also, can we just say bravo to Betty for that beautiful job reading?
Yeah, it was.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Had me on the edge of my seat.
Did I?
Yeah, it was really good. Coming from I guess you say actress. Not really.
In
I just
training.
in training. I do drama 3. It was really good. That would have gotten you an A in drama.
You would have gotten an A in high school drama class.
Hey, I didn't get to do high school drama, so fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, coming as like a younger sibling, I get it.
Yeah, you know.
I don't get it. I've never wanted to kill my brothers. And my brothers are far from angels.
Yeah.
They are the demons that haunt me.
As a chronic middle child between 6 other siblings, I've never wanted to murder my siblings,
Yeah,
so...
just he gets on my nerves sometimes. Little Monium, I guess baby Monium. He, like, comes in my room sometimes just to, like, beat on me, just to beat me up. But you know, he has his sweet moments, and I've never wanted to, you know, rip out his heart like in the story. So
Just sibling things.
just sibling things. We rip out your sibling's heart.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I have one more story. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's not as long as that one.
Oh.
And again, it kind of goes with the
Angel, evil angel.
kind of. It's definitely creepypasta, and Angel is in the title. That's all I have.
Hey, you know what? That's what we do here on this podcast.
It's like, it's my podcast. I'll do with it what I want.
Do what I want. Gosh.
Gosh, Mom.
You can't tell their siblings at all.
No. Definitely not related.
No.
Not in the slightest.
Nope.
They just found me on the side of the road, you know. Like, hey, you want to be in a podcast? Sure.
It's like, yeah, hey, small child.
We told you to come here, and you came here.
Exactly.
It's like, now you're gonna die. What?
We wouldn't do that. Did you finish your tea?
You
yeah,
did not watch
kind
me.
of funny.
You did not watch me pour it, or do anything else to it, which you should
No.
always do.
Good. Good tip.
Okay.
Can you hear that color over there?
All right, so here we go. So this is my second story. I found it on creepypasta.com. Again, it's not actually about an angel, but it
Close
has angel in the title.
Close enough.
So this one is called The Guardian Angel. It was written July 8th of 2008, and it does not say who it was written by. It says written by, and then it's blank.
It was written by a ghost. Dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. All right.
It was written by the guardian angel.
Oh God, I hope not, because this thing's fucking creepy. You ready for some spooky
We'll
stuff?
jump into it.
Spooks.
And I am always with you. I was there from the time you were born. I stood in the delivery room staring down at you before you could even open your eyes to see me. Your parents, relatives, and doctors couldn't see me there in the corner, watching you with cloudy eyes, but I was there from the time you were born, and I followed you home. I was with you always, your constant companion. You played with your toys alone while I stared from all angles in nearby mirrors, my matted, clotted hair with oily sweat that hung off my dented forehead like glue. I was always your constant companion, drifting behind your mother's car on your ride to preschool. You alone in the bathroom, but I was on the other side of the door, wind whistling through the bruised hole in my throat. My arms twisted and hanging in their sockets as I stood hunched on the other side of the shower curtain. I waited and followed you. I followed and drifted behind you. I'm not seen. I'm almost not there in light. You never saw me that morning as I sat across from you at the breakfast table, a shiny red clot hanging from an empty tooth socket as I gaped grotesquely at you. I wonder sometimes if you know I'm there. I think you are aware, but you'll never understand just how close I am. I spend hours of your day doing nothing more than breathing in your ear. Breathing. Gagging, really. I crave to be close to you, to always wrap my crippled arms around your neck. I lie near you every single night, cloudy eyes staring at your ceiling underneath your bed, at your sleeping face in the dark. Yes, you caught me staring occasionally. Your parents came running to your room one night when you screamed. You were just beginning to talk, so you were only able to cry out, "Man! Man in my room!" You thought you'd never forget the sight of me, with my collapsed jaw hanging to my chest, swinging back and forth. I sank back into your closet and your mother was unable to see me, though you pointed and pointed and pointed. You thought you'd never forget when they left that same night. You saw the closet door crack so softly and me crawl across the floor to your bed on all fours, shambling in jerking movements as I pushed myself under your bed on disjointed limbs. You learned a new word for me. Boogeyman. Not quite the monster you thought I was. I'm just waiting and following you always, touching your face with my knotted fingers as you sleep. You'll see me again soon, any day now. I'm coming, blunt and brutal. One day you'll walk across the road, and I believe I'll plow into you with loud roar and screech. You rolling on the pavement, rolling under the wheels, blunt force metal fenders, and my fingers touching your face again and again. As you stare up from the cold pavement with cloudy eyes, your matted, clotted hair hanging in your face, and your jaw unhinged and swinging to your chest, you'll see me approach. No one else will see me. You will stare past them into my eyes, and I'll leer down at you. For the first time in our life, something like a smile will come over my face. You'll swear you're looking into a mirror as clotted red bubbles from our mouths. I'll lean down, past the doctors and the ogling people, and pick you up in my crooked arms. Our faces will touch, my wings will unfurl, and then you'll have to follow me. And I am always with you. I am your guardian angel.
Creepy.
Nightmare Town, where we give you actual nightmares.
I did good?
A little bit. We'll call it good.
Yay!
That's the word we use instead of terrifying. I'm just over here wide-eyed just the entire time.
Both of us were doing the face, like,
Yeah.
the cringe face.
They were both cringe facing me, and Minnie kept like wiggling.
I think I'll walk you to the door tonight instead of making you
Yeah,
walk through the scary
that'd
field
be
in the dark
nice.
alone.
That'd be nice.
Bigfoot is? And the
Yeah.
aliens?
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Our good friend Bigfoot.
Why would you
The
make her walk through
chupacabra, all
that?
the terrifying things.
It's fun.
I used to do that run all the time at night.
But
You know,
that's
it's
why
kind
all
of
the way home.
exhilarating.
exhilarating,
Yeah.
the possible death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but
And Josiah was about 2, and we were in the garden. It was like a fall day, I think. He had little overalls on. It was so cute. But we put him on the mower, and all of a sudden, from like his 2-year-old babbling, he like straightened up and started looking at his wrist like it was a watch, which I don't even know if he knew what a watch was at that point.
Nobody in our family wears.
Yeah, no one in
like
our,
we're all phone people.
like other than our grandpa, like our, he wears watches, but he doesn't. I don't know.
I
It's
get
a
that.
long day.
But anyway,
But yeah, so we didn't even know if he knew what a watch was, but he kept looking down at his wrist like it was a watch, and he kept saying over and over, "I've got to go. I don't want to be late," in like a southern accent, like I gotta go. I don't want to be late. I gotta go. And we're like, "What do you mean, buddy?" And he wouldn't like respond to us. We're like, "I gotta
kept
go."
like nodding his head and like sighing, like
Yeah.
he was acting like an old
Yeah,
man.
he was acting like an old man, like more than he does now.
And didn't he say something like, "I'm almost out of time"?
Yeah, I'm
too?
almost
like,
out of
it was
time. Yeah, it was.
really bizarre. And then
He did it again when he grabbed our great grandpa's hoe, garden hoe, not
yeah,
No,
nighttime hoe.
no, definitely a nighttime hoe.
Mhm,
great grandpa's.
There's difference between a hoe and a hoe.
mhm.
It was a hoe.
Mhm. And he did that again. He said the same thing. Looked at his watch. And I was like, I don't know what he's doing. And then he like snapped out of it, and he just went back to his little baby self, digging in the
Yeah,
dirt.
and at the time, this was when he was still mostly incoherent when
Yeah,
he spoke. Like
but
he
thi-
was learning
Yeah,
sentences.
but this, he
structure.
like, we could understand him. He was like,
Is really creepy.
yeah,
That
And then-
super duper creepy.
We're like,
Yeah.
all right, buddy.
okay, we're gonna go inside.
Let's just stop touching your great grandfather's things for a minute. It's sending you to a weird place.
Another, I guess, baby-monium story is he was in his room, he was humming a song, and he had his arms like he was rocking a baby. And my mom walked in. She was like, "Oh, that's a pretty song." He was humming a song that sounded like a lullaby from like the medieval times, if you can imagine that. So he was humming that, and then he looks up to my mom, and without a beat he says, "Yeah, remember, it's the song I sang to you when you were a baby and I was the big brother." And Mom was just like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go make you some soup." So yeah, it was creepy.
Little kids are the scariest sometimes.
Yeah.
And so then you've got a story that transcends
From the kind of like creepy
through the family.
angel, yeah. So me, Manda, my mom, and big brother Monium. What do you call him?
Bromonium?
Bromonium.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Bromonium. All four of us have had the same exact experience, saw the same exact dog. So it's like this completely black dog, like head to tail, pitch black dog, but the only color on it is blue eyes, like not the kind of blue eyes you see on any other dog, and they almost glow in a way.
Yeah, they're like ice blue.
And the strangest thing is, it would never get super close to us, and it would always just watch from a distance, and it was super quiet, never made a sound. Even when walking in leaves, you couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
You guys have a Grim?
I don't know.
Maybe.
So this is, it's weird because all of us saw this when we were younger. So my mom saw the same dog, and then my brother saw it.
Maybe it's our guardian
Then I saw it. We were all probably the 5 or 6, 7 range.
Yeah.
Not any higher than first grade. And then I remember you talking about it too, and we were like all like circled around you, like, describe it. What did it look like? Did it make any noise? Did it bark? Like,
mine was like a little bit different from their stories, because they usually see it when it's outside and just walking around. But I saw it in our house in the middle of the night. Do you not know this?
Didn't know that tidbit.
Oh,
all right.
Well, I was like 5 or 6, and it was the middle of the night, and I had to go pee, so I walked to the bathroom, and which you should never do is, I looked in the dark, I looked into the dark living room.
Why?
And I don't know, I didn't mean to, I just kind of did.
She was 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
You peed on your mom's bed.
Okay, well, yes, but...
At least I didn't pee in bed.
Sorry, I'll cut that part out.
Oh, no, it's all good. You leave it on in there. That's fine with me.
So that was me. So you were going to the bathroom.
Yeah,
you looked in the living room.
I looked in the living room, and I saw what I swore was an outline of a shadowy dog, and it was kind of smoky looking in a way, and its eyes were glowing, and I didn't really know what to do, so I was just like, well, I guess I'll just go pee, hopefully it'll be gone by then. And at that time we did have a dog, but she was a Yorkie, so if you don't know, those are really small
Fits in your
dogs.
pocket.
Yeah, fits in your pocket, tiny dogs. She was asleep, and this was like big husky wolf looking dog. It looked like a husky / a wolf like shape. I don't know, it was really bizarre. And then I didn't see it again when I went back to my room. I like looked again because I was a dumb 6-year-old. But I looked again and it was gone. I was like, okay, that was weird, and went back to sleep. So yeah.
And see, that's the funny thing. That's the only thing that differs too, is that you always described it as kind of a husky wolf mix, which again, we saw this dog in broad daylight, mainly when we would be reading a book laying in the hammock in my grandparents' yard, which is, used to be my mother's house when she was a kid.
Family commune.
Yeah, family compound, commune, whatever, yeah. Kind
Compound.
of in the same area. It always would hang around the edge of the field, but I always saw it as a lab. Just a black lab, but it was completely black headed toe too, same eyes, all that, never made noise, anything like that. And then
was it kind of like shadowy? Like, did it look like smoke?
whenever I saw it, I always got a really creeped out feeling, and it would be so quiet outside too. Like normally you can hear noises
like
and
birds
stuff,
and stuff,
but it would just get so quiet and my blood would kind of run cold. Like I don't know why, I always got kind of freaked out. So
I felt kind of, like, I didn't feel like scared of it. I felt kind of just like, oh, it's there. now
Yeah.
what?
Well, see, I always just, anytime I would see it,
Yeah.
I would just go inside, whether that be to the grandparents' house or to,
Yeah, it's like, nope, out of here.
yeah, I would just leave the area because it just made me uncomfortable. So it's
Yeah.
just like,
Like, it made me
but
uncomfortable.
it never would approach
Yeah,
us.
it never would. And it didn't look mean, like it didn't look vicious is what, it wasn't growling or anything.
No,
It just
just
was
standing there still.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, a mysterious presence.
You guys have a Grim.
What's a grim?
It's a demon dog.
Yeah.
They're supposedly, like, they guard cemeteries.
Cemetery.
Yeah, we have an
Great.
episode where we talk about them whenever Tilly the kid was
Well,
Oh,
they're.
sorry, random thing, just mentioned Tilly.
Yeah.
Tilly got engaged!
Congratulations,
I
Tilly
know
the
who
kid!
Tilly is, but
Oh, Tilly was my first co-host.
She was the OG co-host. We miss her.
congrats Tilly.
So,
But
But yeah, no, sorry.
there. Well, there is a graveyard fairly close to the house.
There is?
Well,
Surprise.
I don't know this.
you're not. You wouldn't be able to walk to it necessarily. I mean,
Yeah.
you could, but it's going to take you a while. But it is close enough, and there is family buried there.
Of course there is.
Yeah, it's great grandparents, family
Oh.
members there.
Okay.
Grandpa Tran.
You've been there.
Grandpa.
Well, they're not.
buried there.
The great grandparents weren't buried there, but
Great,
like
great.
I'm talking like super old
Oh,
relatives.
okay.
Like anyway.
So, used to, in ye olden witch birding days,
Mhm.
they believed that if there was a new graveyard, that the first soul that was buried there would be stuck there to watch over the graves.
So maybe a dog.
So what they used to do is they would take a dog and they would bury it alive
Oh
and
no.
essentially kill it,
Oh.
and then it would become the church grim
Oh.
Huh.
or the grave
So to
graveyard
like
grim,
watch over the bodies and make sure they aren't.
to make sure that no evil spirits were
Yeah.
able to come in. That way we didn't get zombies.
So were there like two maybe? Since like I saw husky, you saw lab.
I meant to ask brother before, but I can't remember how he described the dog. But me and Mama Monium both saw
Yeah.
a lab, I believe.
Just saying.
Either way,
I mean, that would
I didn't know we
explain-
had a graveyard near our house. Like, is it near the stream? Like the.
no, it's several roads down. This is the south. When I say near, I
like
mean it's
a
like a
few
couple
miles.
miles away. But
Here's a fun fact. I grew up on a plot of land that had 2 unmarked graveyards.
oh, great!
Fun. Our yard used to be a cow field. Maybe there's ghost cows out there.
I would love
Do
to see
cows
this.
haunt?
Maybe.
I feel like they would just chill.
Yeah, like
I feel like they just...
instead of boo, moo. Ah.
Ghost cow!
Tune in for the next 5 minutes where we just make cow
Oh,
sounds
nice.
trying to sound like ghost cows.
Ghost
I'm gonna eat all your grass.
Please do, I'm tired of mowing it.
Okay, it's
The
mad.
milk will be glowing. Glowing milk.
It just looks like Slimer from
Oh
Ghostbusters.
gosh, you're like, oh.
I'll give you strong bones. Anyway, so y'all have been reading about your angels
Mhm.
and your probably demons and mostly demons
Mhm.
under the guise of angels.
Great grandparents.
Yeah, you know.
Creepy shit.
Yeah.
Past lives.
So I'm going to read from creepypasta.com a story. Not really a story, it's more instructions.
Mhm.
Instructions.
Yes.
Don't give them instructions.
On how to play a game.
Oh.
This is called Lights Out, a beginner's guide to playing. But to preface this beginner's guide and rulebook on the game of Lights Out, the author highly discourages any individuals from initiating or participating in this game. With that being said, this guide serves to assist those brave and moronic individuals who will nevertheless attempt this dangerous game, whether or not they're knowledgeable of the rules, risks, and rewards. The Lights Out game has been referred to by many other names. Some more common names include Lights Off, Light Switch, Room Wars, or simply Switch. No matter the title you may be familiar with, the rules of the game remain the same. Before we begin an explanation and a brief history of the game, the author would like to once again warn against participation. Persons with pre-existing medical conditions, the elderly, children, and pregnant women are highly discouraged from playing.
Darn.
Only those individuals of fit body and sound mind should consider attempting Lights Out, and only if said individuals understand the inherent risks. But please, once again, do not play this.
There go my weekend plans.
You're a child. Get out.
Darn, you can't play.
Darn.
The objective of Lights Out is a simple one. 2 players are assigned either to Lights On or Lights Out. The players then race around at assigned buildings, switching room lights either on or off. The game ends when either side manages to turn all lights on in the house or all the lights off. If the player tasked with turning the lights on manages to illuminate all rooms in the house, that player wins. If the Lights Out player manages to turn off all switches in the house, that player wins. It should be noted that even though this is a 2-player game, only you, the reader/participant, are actually playing. What is simply called Player 2 will be discussed later in this guide. For now, let us move on to a brief history of this game.
I'm gonna vote nope.
No thanks.
The history of this game is an obscure one to say the least. Although nobody knows the exact origin of Lights Out, reports of this game being played date back as early as the commercialization of the light bulb. Journal entries from several countries in the early 20th century indicate this game, or games similar to this one, being played worldwide in the Americas, Europe, and Southeast Asia. A correlation can be found between an uptick in references to the Lights Out game during times of war and famine. This is hypothesized to be the case because of the unique and highly valuable award granted to those individuals who find success at Lights Out. Sometimes during the mid-20th century, the game fell into obscurity. This is not to say that the game had been common knowledge or popular during its history, but instead the game fell from relative obscurity into complete obscurity. Very few references to this game exist from the 1950s onward to the present. The author has several theories as to why this may be the case, but for the sake of staying concise, it will not be discussed in this guide. Lights Out has since existed underground in niche communities from Wicca to deep web forums. This guide is intended for members of these communities who know or have heard of this game. Readers who only now know of this game due to this article should stop reading immediately and refrain from pursuing anything related to this game. You have been warned. The players. As previously stated, Lights Out is a 2-player game. If you choose to participate in the game, you will be named Player 1. This is because Player 1 always initiates the game. As Player 1, you are able to decide the play area, as well as make appropriate changes to this area. You are also able to choose which side you'll be on. It is recommended to choose Lights On though, as choosing Lights Out, you will find yourself running around in the dark for the duration of the game. You may also choose the starting location of Player 2. Player 2, hereby referred to as It, is to be summoned into the room you have chosen. Summoning procedure will be outlined below. It may not be seen by Player 1, but may be felt, often as a cold flash, and sometimes as a hot flash. Reports often cite an unpleasant odor of rotting fruit or garbage when Player 2 is present. Player 2 follows the same rules as Player 1 during the game. However, just as Player 1 has a few advantages during the setup procedure of the game, it has been noted as having its own distinct advantages during the game itself. This too will be discussed later. The importance of this player introduction is to understand the differences between you and the entity known as Player 2, or It. Begin to think about the importance of the setup procedure and how it may influence the outcome of the game. Rules. The rules of Lights Out are fairly straightforward. As of the writing of this guide, there exist 7 rules. This section of the guide shall be formatted as a set list. Rule number 1. The game may only be played between the hours of 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. 2. The play area must consist of a closed-off building containing multiple rooms and/or hallways, all with light sources and electricity. 3. For a building to qualify as a play area, it must have at least 8 separate rooms and/or hallways. 4. The participant must be alone during the setup of the game, as well as the duration of the game. Failure to follow this rule results in an automatic loss. 5. The game must start with an even number of rooms, lit and unlit. If the number of rooms is an odd number, a coin may be flipped to determine the status of the final room. 6. Once the game begins, it does not end until one player has turned on/off all the lights in the building. 7. Use of any machine or contraption to give one an advantage during the game is prohibited and will result in an automatic loss. Preparation. If one wishes to participate in Lights Out, then a fair amount of prep work is needed. Many factors should be taken into consideration for beginning the game. Perhaps the most important factor is the building that will serve as the game space. It is known that the area must contain at least 8 rooms. What may not be known to some individuals is that there is no limit to the number of rooms a play area may contain. This means that a mansion is within the boundaries of the game so long as all other conditions are met. This too means that a 100-story office tower is also viable for the same reasons. However, it is not advisable to choose a building with too many rooms. Most participants would not have the physical capability to sprint around such large areas for an extended period of time. Because of this, it is recommended that player 1 pick an arena with no more than 12 rooms. This will ensure faster rounds with less fatigue. A room is any area within the building closed off with at least 4 walls, a floor, a roof, an entrance/exit, and a source of light able to be manipulated. This includes bedrooms, bathrooms, garages, and walk-in closets. A light source may range from a fixed overhead light bulb to a standing lamp. An open kitchen does not constitute a room. If a closet does not have a light source, it does not constitute a room. If there is this.
Oh no, I'm counting rooms.
Oh, sorry.
I'm counting my
Just
sources.
checking.
I was like, because at first I was like, no, this house is too small. I mean, I would never fucking play, but because
Oh, this doesn't sound fun to you?
it's running
So far?
Fuck running.
Exactly.
Okay, continue. Sorry, I'm still gonna count rooms.
No,
though.
you're great. You go on counting. If there is a separate building on the property unattached to the play area, i.e. a shed, it does not constitute a room. Many small to medium-sized homes fit within this player-made restriction. There you go. It is advisable that the player picks a place that is familiar to them, be it their own house or a friend or family member's house. When the arena is decided, it's time to prepare the space. Remove all items within the building that may hinder you from easy access to a light switch. This may mean moving the furniture against walls or completely removing it altogether from the premises. Door wedges may be used to hold open doors for easier access to rooms. Ensure all light switches within the building are working as intended. Make a mental map of all these switches so that even in the event of total darkness, you can still navigate all the rooms. Consider timing yourself as you run from room to room, switching lights on and off. If circumstances permit, you may wish to play a practice round against a friend or family member. I cannot offer you advice on how to convince others to play against you, but it is an invaluable tool that should be considered. Setup. Assuming you, the player, have appropriately prepared your arena, it is now time to detail the setup procedure. It is recommended the reader familiarize and internalize this section of the guide, even if this means reading this section again. This is because the setup of the game is more than half the battle, and a properly set up arena will increase the chances of survival. Though this game requires above average fitness, it also requires a strategic mind. The process of setup is a complicated procedure. The game will not commence until all requirements of the setup procedure are satisfied. The first order of setup is to choose the time you wish to play. As previously stated in Rule 1, the game may only be played between the hours of 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. Many cite the hypothesis of the witching hour to explain this window of time. Regardless, it is recommended that you start the game as soon as possible. Previous players of Lights Out report a direct relationship between the time of night and the difficulty of the game. Starting at the stroke of midnight or as close to it as possible will ensure a better chance at success. If one desires a challenge, they may start between the hours of 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. 2:05 a.m. is the latest recorded time an individual has started the game and successfully completed it. There exists a myriad of individuals who have strived to beat this record. However, there exist no reports of successful completion after 2:05 a.m. It should be noted that even after the game starts, difficulty will increase as time increases. This means that the game must be completed as soon as possible after commencement. Another factor to take into consideration is the weather. Though the entirety of the game will take place away from the elements, the weather may still have an effect on the game. Avoid playing during a severe thunder or snowstorm. Loss of power during a game will result in a win for the lights out player, commonly it. To this end, also avoid playing in an area with frequent power outages. Once the starting time has been chosen, you must make sure that only you are in the house during that time. All doors and windows to the outside must be shut and locked securely. Once this has been ensured, it is now time to choose a personal item. This item must have value to you. Do not worry, this item will not be sacrificed. Place this item in the room you wish it to spawn in. Once this has been done, you may switch the lights on or off. If its starting room is left lit, it will be assigned to lights on. The opposite is true if the light is turned out. Again, it is recommended to assign it the lights out. It is now time to set up the configuration of lit and unlit rooms. They may be spaced and shaped in any patterns so long as the fifth rule of the game is followed. When this has been done, write down on a piece of paper one desire that you have. This may be anything from material wealth to love, fame, or knowledge. It is important that this desire not be unattainable or impossible. Raising the dead, time travel, unassisted flight, or future vision are examples of impossible desires. Remember, it must be possible and it must be desired. When you have finished writing this down, place the written statement in the room that you wish to start in. Your starting room may be in any room that is oppositely lit from its starting room. The incantation and ritual is now ready to be performed. Return to its starting room to perform the summoning ritual. The incantation and ritual will not be detailed in this guide. This is to discourage any mildly curious persons from participating in this game.
Oh, good.
If one really wishes to play lights out, they may search for the ritual and incantation. It has been covered and documented multiple times and exists both on and off the internet. The only requirement to finding the incantation and ritual is patience and a strong desire to participate. When you have completed the incantation and ritual, you now have 60 seconds to find your way back to your starting room. If you are found in a room that is not your starting room, the room with your written statement, the game will not begin and the ritual must be performed again. If the game still will not start, then you've done something wrong in the setup procedure. You may re-perform the setup procedure as many times until the game begins, but it is advised that one wait until the next night so as not to start the game too late. Playing the game. You will know the game has started when all lights in the house flicker once. Do not be alarmed. This only happens to signal the start and end of the game. If the flickering persists during the game, that is due to a mechanical failure and not the game itself. When the game starts, it is time to run. You must run as fast as possible around the arena, flicking lights on. Do not stop running until the game has finished. If a room has multiple light sources, you only have to turn on one for a room to be counted as lit. Though you must be quick, do not be too quick that you injure yourself. Spraining an ankle, acquiring a concussion, or falling down the stairs will not help your chances of success. It will not wait for you to recover, and the game does not stop until it is over. You will notice the lights from the consecutive rooms turning off. This is it. You will not be able to see it, but you may be able to sense it. A feeling of unease or dread is oftentimes felt by those who stand or pass through a room containing it. If you should feel this during the game, there is no need to panic. It will not harm you during the game. Previous players have noted that at the beginning of the game, it may take it anywhere from 2 to 5 seconds to turn a room light off. As the game progresses, the time it takes for it to turn lights off decreases. This may be because of the relationship between the time of night and the difficulty of the game. Or it may be it familiarizing itself with the layout of the building. If one starts the game much later than midnight, then it will be significantly faster. Past 1:45 a.m., it has been noted as taking less than a second to turn a room light off. It is ideal to complete the game within the first 5 minutes because of this increase in difficulty as the game draws out. Though you may start to feel fatigue within the first 5 to 30 minutes, depending on level of fitness, it has never been reported to show signs of exhaustion. As previously stated, it will only continue to become faster as the game progresses. Any game that lasts longer than 15 minutes is often a lost cause. Do not let this discourage you, however. The longest reported game by a successful player lasted 38 minutes. You will know the game has ended when the lights flicker once again. The entirety of the house will either be lit or unlit. You will know if you have won based on what happens next. Winning conditions. Congratulations! You have won! Return to your starting room to find that your written statement has disappeared. You may be tempted to sit back and wait for your wish to come true. However, this is not the case. Whatever you desire, it will not hand it to you. Instead, you will find opportunities in pursuit of your goal that you will not have found before. New doors will open to you and your dream will be more easily attainable than it was previously. This conclusion stems from interviews with several successful actors, CEOs, musicians, and artists, all alleged winners of Lights Out. Personal accounts from a few historical figures in history also serve to show the conditions of winning. Again, congratulations, you may rest easy knowing what the future holds for you. Losing conditions. Not much is known about the terms of losing Lights Out. This is because those who lose are not available to be interviewed or documented. How is it known that someone has lost Lights Out? The information can be gleaned through any audio, video, and writings of the person prior to participating in the game. If the person has expressed a desire or committed to playing the game and has not been heard from since, it is believed that this person has failed Lights Out. The vast majority of those who have lost are missing persons. Few bodies have ever been recovered. Those that have been ruled as apparent accidents or suicides. By reading officer reports, one may glean what has happened to those who lose. One case found a woman at the foot of her stairs, her neck and spine having been broken in several places. It is unclear whether this was due to an accident during the game or a condition of losing. Another case found the body of a man strewn across the pavement 5 floors below his apartment. Again, it is unknown whether the man was flung from his apartment after losing, or faced with the impossibility of winning, threw himself out the window to avoid the consequences of losing. Either way, those whose bodies have been discovered after an unsuccessful attempt at Lights Out have surely been shown mercy compared to those persons who have vanished. A popular theory is held within the community as to the whereabouts of those players who have lost. Many believe that those who did not find success have been doomed to become it. These players, having been taken, stripped of their form and substance, and forced to eternally play the game. Again, this is only speculation, and nothing has been proven or disproved as to the whereabouts of those who have lost. In the end, it does not really matter what happened to those who lost. What matters is that you do not find out. Conclusion. Lights Out is not a game to be handled lightly. The consequences of losing are severe and quite possibly fatal. The author hopes that with this description of the game, possible players are discouraged from taking part in said game. However, as with many illegal activities, persons will continue to do so despite the inherent risks. In this regard, the author hopes that this guide has helped any individuals who have made up their mind to play this dangerous game. There are many more aspects of Lights Out that fall outside the scope of this guide. If one wishes to know more, they only need to search for it. Also, credit goes to Edmonto Raptor on creepypasta.com.
That
Again,
does not sound like a fun
nope.
game.
Voting no. Real hard.
Family fun
Hard
night.
pass.
Family fun night, except you can't play with your family. It just has to be you and it.
What if you are your family?
What if it is your family?
I wonder how that game started.
Well, it's obviously witches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a witch and just somebody that was like,
Let's
witch,
do
I
this.
want this. And she was like, I got a game.
You guys want to
And-
play?
And then she lost. And then Satan took her soul, turned her into a demon, made her continually play, but she was powerful enough to do that, to like strip other people.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to point out that even though this episode is titled Angels/Demons, I'm very proud of us for staying away from actual, like,
Yeah.
churchy stuff.
Yeah.
Because we do live in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
I almost...
Pretty much everything's closed on Sundays.
Everything is closed on Sundays.
Even the ice cream parlor.
Yep. I mean, who closes ice cream for Jesus? I'm kidding.
don't know. Jesus would like a nice ice cream.
I think he would.
What if he's lactose intolerant, guys?
He's Jesus.
I am, but I still get down with some ice cream every once in a while.
So is the
You do.
boyfriend, but it doesn't stop him at all.
Yeah.
He pops a pill, he says a prayer, and he goes at it.
And he's like, I'm alright.
I just suffer the consequences. I don't have any pills or anything. I'm just like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna do it.
You can get him at Walmart
Oh, really?
or Kroger or
Yeah.
pretty much anything.
I like to
It's
live
just
life on the edge.
okay. Well, I mean, if you want to upset your
Edge
belly,
of the
that's you.
toilet.
The lactose family likes to partake in their dairy delights on weekends
Mm-hmm.
when they have no plans.
Yep. I was about to say when there's no plans.
Yeah.
I just remembered one more story.
Tell me,
One
tell
more
me.
story
Ooh.
for the road.
Throw it in there. End us with a story.
I guess it could kind of be like the It, because it's like a figure in the hallways of a house.
Girl, you and your figures, you keep seeing in the hallway of our
I was a creepy kid.
newer house, by the way. It's
Yeah.
not like it's an old house.
Yeah, it was built. And okay, so I was around 7. It's pretty much always around 7 years old that I see all these things. Maybe 7 isn't a good number for me.
Doesn't Mammonium like the number 7?
Maybe. Dun, dun.
There's
Maybe
a
it's a
thing
good
about
thing.
7 and angels, by the way.
7 is magic.
So I was in the living room, and it was like in the morning too. It wasn't late at night or anything. So I was in the morning, sitting in the living room, sitting on the couch. Mama Monium was cooking in the living room, and I think Dad Monium was,
Papa.
Papa Monium was taking a nap in the bedroom.
It just flows better.
Yeah, Papa Monium, there you go. Yeah, so he was taking a nap, and I know this figure was not him, because I'll explain it. So, I was sitting there, and once again, the hallway, I looked in the hallway, and I saw a completely black figure floating down the hallway. I didn't see its face, I didn't see any facial features, but it looked like a very tall, skinny man floating, not walking, floating down the hallway. And I knew it wasn't Dad, because Dad, he's a little bit bigger, and he, and this was like a very long, skinny, I'm just saying, I'm explaining how I know it wasn't Dad. So, love you, Dad. So it was very tall, and Dad isn't like incredibly tall. This was like a super tall figure.
Family of halflings almost.
So it was a very tall, skinny figure, and it was floating, not walking, because Dad has a certain walk he does. It was gliding down the
Like
hallway.
towards y'all?
No,
Like
towards
the living room or
the
towards the bedroom.
towards the bedroom.
So away from
Yeah,
you.
because I didn't see the face, but I just saw
That's
the back
probably
of it. Yeah. And it looked like a man, because it didn't have any hair, and looked like it had like a shirt, but it was completely pitch dark black.
Can I just say I appreciate that for some reason you have been just blessed with all of these creepy experiences. Meanwhile, I'm living up in that house for quite some time.
You have a lot of like alien and Bigfoot stuff
Yeah.
that happen to you, though.
Never happened to me, but yeah. I'll take aliens and Bigfoots over shadowy
Yeah.
figures in the hallway.
And I remember it had to set in for a bit, and then I was like, Mom, I just saw something. She's like, it's probably just Dad walking from the bathroom.
No.
She still doesn't believe that it wasn't Dad.
Okay.
Mama Monium doesn't believe something?
I know. Maybe she does, but she's denying it. Maybe she didn't want to scare me.
She
when
was
I
trying to
She'll wait
protect
till you
your
move
childhood.
out.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh
And then
yeah,
be like, oh hey, by
that's
the way.
the ghost of
All kinds of
blah, blah,
creepy
blah.
stuff up in this house.
Alright, shake that hat. So, if you guys have your own stories to tell or ideas for the hat, go ahead and hit us up at nightmaretown18@gmail.com or on Instagram or Anchor or Twitter or YouTube or Facebook.
Or pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Just anywhere on the internet,
Anywhere
mostly.
you can find their account.
Yep.
You know,
Just Google us.
Mhm.
Google Nightmare Town.
and every single
all the things.
Instagram, everything they have, suggest something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You guys should do that. And then we're going to let Minnie pick from the hat.
Yay.
And then if you guys have something pertaining to this upcoming episode, let us know at all those things I just named off.
Yes, and remember, we are
Ooh, this-
always taking suggestions for Tales from the Neighborhood Watch.
That is-
Always looking for stories.
Yep.
So, what's our next subject?
that shouldn't be there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a good one.
I like that.
I've been waiting for that.
We've just been waiting for that one to get drawn.
But
I'm excited. Okay, but like I said, if you guys have your own ideas or stories, Anchor has this really cool little button on their website where you can go and leave us a voicemail telling us that, and maybe I'll pop it into the episode. But yeah,
tell my friends to do that too, because one of my friends, they were wanting to suggest something, like they were wanting to put a.
well, just give them all of our social
Yep.
medias, and they can do the thing. And if you guys want your stickers, just
Yes.
say it. Do that. And yeah, so we have stickers. Tell us your creepy shit. And you stop
All the
cussing
spookies.
in front of the child
It's fine.
because she's like 12, but she's not. She's
not really 12.
She's older than 12.
That little.
She's older than 12, but she's like 12. She's Benny.
Almost 17, but we're still going to call you Mini Monium.
Yep. But yeah,
Until next time.
tell us a story.
Bye bye.